everyone? Welcome back to Teamfight and Tactics. I am ImpetuousPanda, part of the Rising Legends broadcast team, and I'm joined today by a very special player that is, of course, Lelouch. Lelouch, how are you doing?
Hello, fine. Not too shabby.
So, quick intro for those that don't know Lelouch somehow. I think, in my opinion, and I think you know this as well, you're one of the best players in EMEA circuit. But before we get into the details of your whole TFT career and why you've become so good at the game, let's run it back to a more, easier, simpler time. Young Lelouch, how did you get into gaming? What was kind of your background when you got into gaming and just your life in general?
Okay, so this will be a kind of long one. So we start the timeline of me starting high school, basically, my last year it was. Yeah, last year of high school, before the graduation exam and the mature exam, like we call it in Poland. And so they started the meta of auto battlers, right? The Dota auto chess and things like that. I didn't catch up on it that quickly. I started playing on Dota chess mobile, the one that they got on the iPads. And I got, I think, the master's rank on it without even searching for builds or watching anyone, just simply by playing. And I really liked the format. I asked myself why I didn't play the Dota auto chess earlier, but then they announced that the Riot is making their auto battler. And since I'm a big strategy fan, as many people know, my favorite game is Civilization 5 and Europe Universalis 2 from my childhood. Because my brother, every game that I played and I loved, my brother started the influence. Yeah. He every game that I basically played, he showed me, or I watched him play. Even League of Legends. And so strategy game and the League of Legends, the Runeterra lore, mix it up, and you have a really fun game. And we started playing set 1 with my brother, I think on Nordic. I took it easy. I didn't I think I got the Masters on there, and then switched to EU to snipe my favorite streamers from Poland. I think that was Nervarian first. I watched him every morning. So yeah, and that's how it started. Then there was a set 2, which wasn't too good, let's be honest. It nearly killed the game. So I took a break of it, and I had the graduation exam, mature exam coming up. So I figured out it would be the best for me to just not to invest too much time on it. I stopped playing after 2 weeks, played some hardcore battlegrounds, and yeah, I finished my exams, and then the set restarted. I came back, and game looked really fresh, really nice. But I didn't also play too much because I had the vacation and the stuff for the college and stuff like that, and I had my really trash laptop at that time that I got random disconnections at the time, and I would just go 8th, and that would be really triggering, so I didn't try hard that much. Got Grandmaster. I think I got Challenger at that time in set 3. And yeah, and then the set 4 happened, and my brother bought me a laptop, a new gaming laptop that I'm using even right now. That helped me a lot. He got me as a gift for my graduation exams. He promised me that, and he fulfilled his promise. And with the new laptop, I had a lot of time back then because, starting with college, nothing too much to do, nothing too much to learn and stuff. So I figured out I could invest some more time, and I played it, started watching some streams, even Houten Kezman. Kezman was my first streamer that I would interact more, I guess you could say. And yeah, that's how it started.
When do you think was the switch, let's say? Because you're telling me this, obviously you were playing Grandmaster Challenger, but at what point, I came in set 6, you were already considered one of the best players in Poland, you were considered one of the top players in the US, you proved it obviously even more in set 7, but for most viewers and most players, when was the switch of, Lelouch is in my lobby to I'm scared that Lelouch is in my lobby?
Yeah, so I think that was the set 4, because Poland and France got the first, like, the tournaments on TFT going on. There was a cycle of Simply Watch Tech tournaments that he did every 2 weeks. It was just people just getting there from ladder and some invited people, influencers and stuff like that. Riot Grzegorz helped a lot with that project because he wanted to see how big potential of TFT is, and there was a really good chunk of hype on that TFT. Plus the set was like really good. There was like a peak of players, I remember, and set 4.5. I don't know, it probably changed, but Riot was like also Mordok, like every time he says that set 4 was that engine that started like thinking, yeah, this is that we want to invest for. So, and the same was in Poland. Then we started like Ultra Liga. I was like top 1, consistent on ladder on Polish. I got even like rank 2 at that time. We were competing with Fluffy for rank 1, but I didn't succeed in hitting it. Finally, in Ultra Liga, I got to the finals. Didn't do too well. And I won many tournaments. I won the Simply Watch Tech tournament, some like winter tournament. There was also a history that there was one tournament with a checkmate system. I overslept for it and I won it. I didn't play the first game, and still thanks to the comeback mechanism, I managed to pull it off. So that was one of the funniest tournament stories. And yeah, later was the set 5. The set 5 when I got the Aphelios tech and climbed really fast to the top of the ranks. Like I even remember when Shredin was typing in like Kezman chat in set 4 when, I was a new person to like the community and to the player base. And he like typed that, this Lelouch guy only plays Dusks and he will just stack master after the Chosen will rotate out. And it didn't age too well.
It did not, especially going to set 6. When I started casting with Rising Legends, I think you were already a big name, and I think you cemented that even more so with set 7. You became champion of all of EMEA, which is obviously a very difficult thing not many players have done. I think you can be very proud of. Last set, you finally won your Ultra Liga championship, so you become a Polish champion as well. You have most of the big accolades that anyone in Europe could hope for or wish for in their career, outside of obviously Worlds, which is a topic that we'll discuss as well. I wanted to ask you just, Lelouch, what do you think has made it so that you've been so successful in game? Do you think there's anything that you do differently to other players? Do you think there's any kind of character trait or any kind of attribute you have as a person that allows you to compete and define success?
So I think I'm a very analytic mind, helps me a lot, and my strategy background. So I always every time I say that the new patches help me out because I can figure out stuff quickly. And I'm also not the type with normal posts, maybe not normal, but most player base after new patch, and let's say they're trying to find their stuff. They're asking what's broken, what's that tagged, what to force. While I'm the person that what people are not playing, what I can play that is good, but I won't be contested. I always try to find my niche. I think that's my and Travis playstyle that distinguishes us. That's even in this meta, right now that we have Ionia, Azir, and we are every time there's a spot, we are just trying to not play those builds and just to hope on like multicasters or action or anything. So yeah, I think the combinations of those things, and I also think that TFT is, I would say, a game of mistakes. The person who makes like more mistakes in games will like the one who makes more mistakes is the worst one. Not like I don't value people that like are doing some, I don't know, insane plays or like finding some insane spots, but I rather value people like that don't do like stupid things. Like they know when to level.
I play cleanly.
Yeah.
You mentioned Travis. I wanted to ask you as well about a team, and I wanted to ask you about also generally your opinion on teams in TFT esports teams. It's not as common as it is in other esports, and your opinion on it. But first of all, talk to us about your team. You represent Z10. You're there with Travis, Meow Meow, as you like to call him, who's also a very strong Polish player. How do you feel being part of an org? Do you think it's something positive for you as a player? What are the benefits in your mind?
I think it's really positive thing once it's a really like good organization, I would say, because I can invest like more time because I have some financial background, and thanks to that, like I'm not depending on only like winning the tourneys, but I can like flourish my stream and like do some media stuff and things like that. So that helps with the comfort of the mind, I would say. And also it's really helpful to always have some back, like always have a person that can advise you, that wishes for your best, for sure. I can say that about my manager Comedia, that I really like. She's a very helpful person, and like she always even says whenever you have anyone wants anything from me, just tell me. I can talk with them, I can make a deal with them or anything like that. So it also helps me to get that maybe more hard stuff that I'm not too experienced in from my mind, and I can just play the game. So yeah.
And with Travis on the same team, in general, talking about just practice partners and players you like to play with and prepare and kind of learn with, you think it's a big benefit as well, having these very likely-minded people that think about the game and play the game at your same level, be able to bounce ideas and get better as a unit, kind of?
Yeah, I think the like competitive integrity really helps with me and Travis like talking. I really value his like look on the things, because I think he like to see like those small things or like finding a niche builds. So I really like that. While he like suffers on the like mathematics side or like the logic side of the things, that he sometimes make something that doesn't really make sense, but he knows that it makes sense, and I can like talk the sense into him. So we kinda
complement each other.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking for that word. And also like Alansku coming back to TFT, this set also like really helps with his ideas of like finding action builds, Fast 9 or some Heimer Donger upgrades and stuff like this. So it really helps, and like always nice to play with people on the same, let's say, level of understanding the game. So we don't drag each other down, but like we're on the same level, and with our powers combined, we rise up. Yeah.
Great to hear. You briefly mentioned the Ultra Liga as well when we were talking about your journey in TFT in Set 5, Set 6. For viewers that are not aware somehow, with TRCs, which are the regional competitions that were implemented in Set 8, now every major region in EMEA has kind of these regional competitions. But Poland and the Ultra Liga has been running, I believe, since Set 5, you mentioned. And it's
since 4 even.
Since Set 4. And it's, I think, in my opinion, one of the best run circuits or national circuits in TFT. I think, there's great players in Poland, obviously, but you have a LAN event that's a final every set, and overall, it just seems like it's really working because all the talent in Poland seems to be playing at a very high level all the time. What's your opinion on the Ultra Liga? Are you happy with how it's run? Are you happy? Are you grateful that you have all these resources in Poland?
So we started with French, I think, at the set 4 as the first in Europe, and that helped a lot to like to develop big names like Shurikens, Broyson, me, Shredin, and people like that. It also like gives you some tournament experience before going to like bigger tournaments, because like I think every tournament that like I'm only stressed whenever I play a spot for the first time. Like I wasn't let's say back when in set 6 when there was a Rising Legend finals that I qualified and went 8th, I was a hella stressed out because that was the first time I got to there. But the second time when I got there, it was like, okay, I've been already in this spot. I can do better. I only got stressed out before the last game when I knew that I can win. And Ultra Liga helps with that for sure, giving you some chunk of tournament experience. And it also helps like all the media days, the LAN event. It helps to make those names bigger. Like you probably wouldn't know about Kubikson all that much because he didn't get to GSC Day 3 once, but like he won the Polish Ultra Liga. He is also very young, and so people like even outside of Poland could hear about him. So yeah.
So yeah,
and that gives him like also additional like push with his like he's at the start of that. He's probably now going to have his like college entrance exams and stuff like that, the mature exam, and that the Ultra Ligas he has been in Ultra Liga since like I don't know 16. Also like helps him to make a decision if he wants to do it more or like.
Yeah, it gives him more stability if he wants to pursue TFT as a full-time thing. Definitely a great kind of jumping board into TFT when you're so young and finding success, and then allowing to maybe pivot that into more stability as you become older. I want to ask you now, Lelouch, about a day in the life. Obviously, you're doing TFT full-time. You're doing content as well. You're streaming to some extent. You're pretty much fully involved in TFT. What is your schedule? What is your, you don't have to go too much into details, but just generally, how much do you play per day? Do you, kind of divide between playing and watching and studying other things, looking at stats, looking at other players and their streams? What's kind of the habits you have within TFT?
So I wake up like I'm not the early bird, that's for sure. Around 1 p.m. That's like my time. I just chill, watch some like TikTok and stuff, check out the media. Then I hop on if someone is on Discord, then I watch his game. Then I start to play myself for like a few hours. Of course, between that I try to like do all the chores in the house to help my mom, or if she needs anything. Manage all like I'm not too good because I'm must admit that I'm a lazy person. That's my bad attribute, but I must admit it that I like to sleep a lot and not to do too much. But yeah, once I get like those things done, I guess I'm starting a stream if I have a mood for that, because I think there's no point having all that negative. If you have like you're tilted or something, it's not too worth to start a stream. That's why like I didn't start too much in set 8, because it was just me complaining 24 hours per day about how bad the game is. So I would like to give like people insight and to teach them the game and show them other ways to play than the meta. So that's why I like to stream. And yeah, I play until late evening, and the day repeats. We also have a lot of events right now, even the Malaga one. So yeah, it's also really nice to catch a break and meet with your friends. But sometimes it kinda ends you. If like we had a tournament before the snapshot, you go like 7 hour and train and at one point and back also 7 hours, and it can it can hinge you from the routine.
Especially with TFT, it's a game that requires so much time to stay up to date and to stay kind of relevant with the meta
Yeah.
and LP and with grinding ladder and stuff. You need to be, not pretty much involved every single day. All days matter, basically.
And in terms of like watching other people, I mostly like try to watch more for entertainment, not for like the knowledge stuff. More for knowledge, I rather talk with like Travis, watch his game. I like to watch like Alansku doing some stupid stuff, or like Soju, and just like having fun, because I think like many people miss it, but to be like the best version of yourself in TFT and like have the best possible outcomes and your placements, you need to kind of like the game. You can't be like burnt off, so
Yeah.
it's really valid.
You mentioned your thoughts on set 8, which of course was divisive with hero augments, and set 7 before that with dragons. There were 2 set mechanics that kind of split the player base a lot in terms of them liking it or not. I know, obviously, on what side you were on for both sets. Coming to set 9, it was, really good reception from player base in PvE. Even the first patch. This patch, of course, has its issues, and there's been a bigger break without any patches now. I think everyone's aware of how, played Ionia and Zir are right now compared to the rest of the meta, and how many relatively dead forecasts there are. But overall, what are your thoughts on set 9 in terms of not just this patch right now, but just looking at the rest of the sets? How optimistic are you in terms of this patch, or this set rather?
Okay, so I'm really positive about set 9. It kinda brings me the love for this game, since I didn't feel so much like joy playing and testing stuff since like set 6. I also like get tilted naturally about like stuff and balance and things, but like those things doesn't matter because I just want to play next. I want to try some other stuff, and like every flavor in this set is like just so nice. Like the voting part about galaxies makes a great content, because someone picks a trash galaxy and you get tilted about him having to play Stillwater Hold, for example, and those nuances. And the no skins is also, I think, a great addition. Like people can distinguish all those champions without any problem, because like some people that didn't play League for a long time or didn't touch TFT can like distinguish those champions because of like back in old times how they looked. That's also great. Many person came back to the set, like Alansku. That was really joyful, and he's like saying that he's investing his time in TFT because he's seeing how the scene developed and how well this set is done. So that also brings you joy.
That leads perfectly into my next question, since we're already kind of segueing into it. It's about the general direction of TFT for the future. Obviously, set 9, I think, is the first step of many good steps that we'll have in the next year or 2 years. It's going to be a change to how mid sets work. There's no more mid sets. For next year, it'll be just set 10, 11, and 12, all in 2024. We have a huge in-person LAN in Las Vegas that I assume and I hope you'll be attending to represent EMEA. And with all these different announcements and all these changes, and obviously, for you you're very invested in TFT as a player, for myself as a caster, we can all tell that Riot is very happy with the game and its growth, and overall there will be more investment, it seems like, for the future. What does this generate in your mind? Are you happy? Are you optimistic about your career path, about the time you've invested in TFT already?
Okay, so I think that I'm really joyful that they learned on their mistakes for sure. Like Mordog being more transparent and fixing the Draven stuff really early, and of course there's some arguments about that, but I think the future might be bright if the no half sets will be done well. It's also I'm not pretty 100% sure about this idea, if this is positive or negative. I can't tell yet, because you have sets like set 6 that had a really good set 6, but a set 6.5 was a big downgrade, while you have set 7 and set 7.5 when the half set really saved the set. But I guess it doesn't matter for the player base, because the people who didn't like the set 7 probably won't come back on set 7.5, but they will come back on set 8. So I think that might be a good thing. And with the first LAN announced for all people around the world, hopefully there will be some in Europe, and so you can visit stuff, because even people from other games like Aoshim from Hearthstone, a pro player from Poland, cherishes the moment that he could visit the world, go around places and meet people. So good stuff.
That's the future of the game, but I want to ask about your future as a player. What are your goals? What's left in TFT for you? What is the things that kind of you see as the end game for you as a player? You've won EMEA in set 7. You've won Poland in set 8 with Liga. EU and EMEA, I guess in general, has not done very well at Worlds. Is this the big goal that you're hoping to achieve at some point?
So yeah, I think that the end game is winning Worlds for me. I do everything and sacrifice anything if that's what it takes. Even there was a tournament that I rather did not attend, because that would maybe I would do bad for snapshots. I didn't want to miss any opportunity to get into the Rising Legend finals and to get eventually into Worlds. So that's the one thing. And I think my goal would be also winning EMEA for second time, or Ultra Liga for second time, because I'm a type of person that likes to do something exceptionally.
For the first time,
yeah. There was 5 winners now of Ultra Liga. That's cool. There's even Sage and Augie won Ultra Liga. So, but to win 2 times in a row, that would be something, right? And the same goes for the EMEA, of course, double 1-2 times, but I don't know if we are counting the before set 6 circuit. But yeah, I think the Worlds will be the end game. I would like to bring it to EU and prove also my point that my gameplay is supreme in the server.
Well, I hope for your sake and for my sake and for our region's sake that this comes true. That hopefully you are able to get a deep run in set 9 Worlds. And I guess first thing would be to qualify, because it is a hard journey to even make it to Worlds. You did it in set 7, but it's not easy to repeat every single set. Hopefully you'll be able to do it, Lelouch. Before we finish the interview, is there any message you want to send to your fans, to your viewers, to people that support you, in terms of anything you want to say to them? Thanking them maybe for their support?
Are we doing the top 5 list? Because I saw it in others.
We can do it. Actually. All right. So give me your top 5 historic EMEA players of all times in TFT. And let's say you're already included. Okay, let's already put you in. So outside of you, 5 more.
I would put myself in. Don't worry.
I know you would.
So double.
Okay.
You cannot include him.
Agreed.
I think Ging. Ging was also like slept on sometimes, but he's that type of player that I don't like that like fast gameplay of his, but he's really good in doing that. So I would include Ging. I think Les Coco might be also my pick. I think he's a person that doesn't need that much time to have an understanding of this game, and he really sometimes pulls it off on tourneys. And for the fourth person, that's a tough one, to be honest, but historically, I'm just trying to see the list.
Two more.
Maybe I would get the Skippers because I really like his ideas and playstyle, but I think my pick would have to go to Voltarius here. Like, I like his unconventional thinking and his comp ideas and how can he play like the strongest board. So he would also be that, and me at
number 5. And if there was, okay, so honorable mention goes to Cabeus then as number 6, if he was there, if we wouldn't include you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's okay. A stacked top 5. Definitely would not want to face any of those players, including yourself, in my own lobbies all matter. And now for the send-off, Lelouch, any thanks you want to give, any gratefulness for support? Now's the time to send that message.
So I just thank my family, my fans in Poland and outside, people that like to watch me and like cheer for me. I'm really grateful for that, and for all the Riot stuff that also works behind, for you commentators that make things go around, and yeah, for all that TFT community that we cannot agree sometimes on everything, but we can get it up together to maybe finally win the worlds.
Hopefully, that's my hope as well. Thank you so much, Lelouch, for your time. I know you're a busy player. You're, top player. Have to be spending time playing games. So I really appreciate coming out for the interview. And again, thank you so much for always representing Poland and EMEA to the highest level in competition. I think you're a great player to watch. And hopefully Set 9 will be a lengthy journey for you that ends in a world's representation and hopefully a championship as well.
Thank you, Mr. Panda. Thank you for your time.